Stephen Siegel is a giant and legend in the New York City real estate business, and he's somebody who so many of us look up to.
First off, who doesn't know Steve?
Who?
Steve Siegel.
Oh.
Probably the biggest real estate practice in the city. What?
Stephen Siegel.
What? What? Wait a minute. It's Steve, not John, being honored?
Right.
But look at John's picture. It's bigger than Steve's.
I can't even remember how I met him.
It's almost as though he's been in my life since the day I was born.
At CBRE, he isn't even the most personable or charming person because Ann Tighe is there.
I've been in the business over 30 years, and I can't remember a period when Steve wasn't an iconic presence in our industry.
Steve Siegel is one of the most unique people, I would say, most of us have ever encountered in the real estate industry.
And it should come as no surprise to anybody that Steve has been able to achieve the level of success that he has.
He's just such an iconic leader in our business, a true professional.
Competent, able, skilled, experienced, tremendous track record, and appreciated and acknowledged by all of us peers.
Steve is the best. He's just a terrific guy and somebody who is knowledgeable in what he does and has the respect of all of us in the real estate community.
He's always surrounded himself with people that are much smarter than he is, which is not terribly difficult. And he has a way of getting them to do all of his work.
Been a great partner, mentor, friend.
Obviously, the person in New York that has contributed more to our industry than almost anyone I can think of, and it has been by saying the word yes.
I've never seen him say no.
My phone rang one day and it was Steve, and he said, "Hey kid, get over here to my office, I gotta talk to you." We sat at a round table and he looked across from me and he says, "I got great news for you." I said, "Yes." And I looked at him and said, "Steve, you said yes to what?" He said, "The deal is done."
You're a young person in this industry. You have to come to the realization that your credibility is the most important thing to maintain.
He preceded his reputation. He was bigger and greater and warmer and more thoughtful than his reputation was when you worked with him day to day.
Whose integrity, business acumen, negotiating skills, he is one of the most righteous human beings that I know. Why everyone views Steve as a friend as he is.
I bought the Edward S. Gordon Company. Steve Siegel was president of the company at the time. And Steve Siegel taught me everything I know about the leasing and management of commercial real estate and how to deal with people.
I think he has tremendous charisma. He also has empathy.
Not only is he listening to you, but that he cares.
When you ask him a question, the first thing that does not come to his mind is what's in it for Stephen Siegel.
You don't come out of a meeting with Steve feeling like you have to go take a shower. You come out of a meeting with Steve feeling good about yourself. And if you're asking him to do something, you feel like you're in good hands.
What makes Stephen Siegel a celebrity broker? So the question is, they're good brokers and great brokers. I'm not sure I agree with the question. Okay. Steve Siegel is a great person. As a broker, he's a broker. As a human being, he's a mensch, a real mensch.
Steve and I were at a gym together, and there was a guy that shared a locker very near ours. And I was trying to help him with his renewal because the landlord was leaning on him for the rent. And Steve said, "Who's that guy? And what are you doing with him?" And I said, "That's Herbie. He's a World War II veteran. He landed on D-Day." He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm giving him some comps so he can talk to Steve Green." He said, "The hell with the comps. I'm calling Steve Green today."
He cares about you. He's your friend, and he always wants to do for you the best.
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Steve is one of the constants in our world.
C.B. Richard Ellis introduced us, and Steve and I started playing tennis together and just had immediate affection for one another. Steve's caring for people and ability to connect to people is something that I try and do in my own life.
When I think of Steve, I think of laughter.
You know, to be in his company is to have a good time.
Remembering one of our recognition trips at CBRE in Cancun, I walked down to the beach one day to see what people were doing, and I saw a group of folks surrounding someone in a chair in the sand, a bit like Aristotle and his students. And of course, that was you.
He makes people come together, and he makes people want to be together.
There's only one Steve Siegel. If he's talking to the CEO of a firm, to a young broker, buying a cup of coffee, he's always the same person.
I think we should rather talk about Wendy and Steve. It's a team.
They've been involved with so many different organizations. My daughter Samantha served on the Big Apple Circus Board with Wendy.
Wendy is a force of nature. She pushes Stephen, makes him better, frankly inspires so many of us, and they are a true power couple.
When Wendy got ill and needed to get the DNA of 100 people or 1,000 people, I would be willing to say probably 5,000 people donated their DNA to some medical facility that was able to track back, and they found the right match for Wendy. The facts are, Wendy's here. Wendy's standing. That's her famous line, "I'm still here, I'm still standing."
Steve has a story like so many of us, from humble origins, but in a home with Jewish values, where even if it was a penny or a nickel, you put it in the pushki every week. And so that tradition finds its full flowering in all Steve's activities and support for worthwhile causes, including especially Jewish causes.
He's right at the top right now. He is the #1 chairman of global brokerage for the most successful real estate company in the world. So what could be better than that?
Steve is unique in this industry, not for just his success, but the way in which he helps others succeed along the way, and I'm an example of that.
I don't think any of the success that I've had personally, the success that we've had as a company here at Fairstead, would have been possible without Steve Siegel.
People may wait an entire lifetime to write a book to give their advice to somebody later on. Steve does it each and every day.
This situation is about mentoring. It's how Steve came to know the YJP. I believe in mentoring a lot. I do it a lot now.
To YJP, you could not have picked a more deserving honoree.
YJP's mission is all about teaching and mentorship.
YJP brings young people together and then brings together leaders in various industries and lets them show the way. So I think it's a perfect combination between Stephen and YJP.
It's a perfect match for someone like Steve.
Congratulations. We all toast to you.
Steve and Wendy, I wish you mazel tov, great health, great success, and we're so proud of you.
Steve, congratulations. No one deserves this honor more than you.
For being named this year's Founders Awardee from the Young Jewish Professionals Organization.
You're a great pal. I've always admired you. I've always enjoyed the time that we've spent together.
I can't think of anyone more deserving than you, Steve.
Mazel tov.